Today on R&R on Sports, Larry and Howard give their thoughts on Ja Morant's spectacular return and Draymond Green's unfortunate suspension. Then we are treated to a throwback interview with former NBA player Kevin Whitted. All of this and more on this week's episode of R&R on Sports. Now here are your hosts, Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson.
Hello and welcome to R&R on Sports. I'm Howard Robertson.
And I'm at other R. Larry Robinson. Larry Robinson. What's up, man?
It's Robinson, right?
Robinson, yeah.
Not retired. You can't
say that on See, listen, look at you. You about to get us fined and everything.
I'm sorry.
Listen, man, we going across the whole country, and you going to bring all that vitriol toward us.
Well,
why?
I mean,
why you do that?
I only use that word in terms of delayed development on your part.
Oh, so you talking about me?
And it happened to have the same consonant beginning as your name.
As my name?
Yeah.
So you were trying to do some alliteration.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that mine too. Gotta be careful. With these words. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm absolutely wonderful.
How come, I'm going to start out with a question. How come University of Memphis Tigers and particularly Coach Penny Hardaway can't get no respect?
Well, I think
on their name.
Well, you know, it's sort of like Deion in Colorado. So when you live in the transfer portal, so let me talk to you a little bit. So when you live in,
let me holler at you.
When you live in the transfer portal,
right,
like Deion does, they got a problem with that because, you know, they losing these players from other schools.
Okay.
Like this kid Quinterly that's playing for University of Memphis, that point guard, who's really talented. And then you got Jones, who's exceptionally talented. They all came from somewhere.
Well,
and so that makes Penny kind of like that pirate that comes in and steals all the booty.
Like y'all used to say, like your generation used to say, don't hate the player. Hate the what?
Game.
Dadgum Skippy. The game is, well, you know the game's crazy.
The game is changed.
This is wild.
This is the wild west for sure.
It is the wild west. It has changed everything.
Yeah.
The transfer portal and NIL.
Yes.
That's out of control.
Out of control. And there needs to be some control because ultimately now you have, you know, situations where teams are moving conferences because of the fact they're trying to be in a better position to get better recruits, get better transfer portal position.
But don't disrespect the man and the team. I mean, they have beaten Virginia. They beat Virginia like they stole something. They have beaten Michigan. They have beaten Arkansas.
They've done an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Penny has done an amazing job.
And they are said to have among the top hardest non-conference schedules in the entire NCAA.
I think something like the 9th toughest schedule in the country. Yeah. So, I mean, these kids are playing some great ball. Penny's doing some phenomenal coaching. I'm starting to see a pattern here with Penny. Is like he has Stansbury this year as his associate head coach, I believe. Last year was Frank Haith. Previous year you had what's my man, the pro coach, older gentleman that coached Philadelphia, coached Allen, Larry Brown. Larry Brown. Yeah. So, you know, had Larry Brown. So, I mean, Penny is putting solid, noted X and O coaches, respected coaches next to him.
Absolutely.
So the fall off is no longer, you got him as the salesman of the program. He's the P.T. Barnum as it relates to University of Memphis ball. Then you got the seasoned wise sage of a coach sitting next to him to help him see around corners that he may not see in our experiences. And then you got these experienced players that are coming from other programs. Now, the biggest challenge and what I would say Penny has been amazing at doing and which he always did even as a player, is bringing people together.
Yeah.
And getting people to play together in a way. So I find that to be very, very exciting. And I see Memphis.
Well, I hope other folks find it very, very exciting, especially those who have to do with how teams are ranked, and if they are ranked. Come on, y'all pay attention.
When it comes to the tournament, it ain't gonna matter where you are.
Well, this is true.
It ain't gonna matter where you are. It ain't gonna matter if you're 10 or 20. It ain't gonna matter if you're 5 or 18.
But what will matter
you got to play.
Who you beat. Yeah. What will matter is who you beat. And
in the tournament, you just got to get them. You just got to get them 4-5 games in so you can get to the Final Four and get the championship. That's what Memphis needs. That's what, college basketball needs. The problem with Penny, even though, is that he is not that outgoing, in the media. So he's not somebody that the media would gravitate to.
Loquacious and whatnot. Yeah, so he's and what we need to do is go to break.
Oh, okay. Well, I get excited.
You got excited. We will be back for more R&R on Sports after this.
Riffing on jazz.
But she was a sheriff's deputy.
Where?
In Detroit.
In Detroit. Oh, my God. You can't be no punk for that.
And ended up playing a flute.
Riffing on jazz on the Kazookian Network.
Kazookian! Boy, that boy still can so shoot that ball. That mother scooter can shoot that ball from so far away. I tell you, you need binoculars to see that boy.
Woo! I wrote a song about it. Wanna hear it? Well, you about to hear it. Here it go.
Shoot it long. Shoot it from a mighty long way. Yeah. Steph can shoot it long. He can shoot it from a mighty long way. Anywhere on the court, the popcorn stand, the women's restroom, they ought to give them shots more than just a tray.
Shoot that ball. Shoot it from the hallway. Well, Steph can shoot that ball, baby.
Sure can shoot that ball, boy.
He can shoot it all the way from the hallway. Shoot from anywhere you want. Just step on back and make them pay.
Boy, that boy Steph is bad, boy. Steph. Woo!
He free to shoot from wheresoever he want to shoot.
His daddy can shoot the ball.
Everybody, he couldn't shoot it like that.
His daddy can shoot the ball.
Daddy couldn't shoot the damn ball like that. I don't care what you say. Daddy couldn't shoot the ball like that. Don't nobody shoot that ball like this boy.
What's his daddy name?
Delvin.
No, what's his last name?
Curry.
He's Curry.
He's Curry.
So where do you think he got?
But everybody, just cause his name Curry, you think he can shoot the damn ball any way he want to? Nah, this boy done recreated shooting as we know it.
No!
In the modern age.
No, his daddy shot the ball better.
I just want some good barbecue. I don't want none of that Indian food.
Who that got to some Indian
food? The curry.
Food?
I don't want any of that curry. It's too spicy.
Put the curry on the barbecue.
It's too spicy.
That's what
that boy
do.
Bad, though.
Put some curry on them ribs.
There's some curry on the ribs.
Curry set them ribs off.
He don't make no ribs in Carolina.
I did in Carolina.
In Carolina.
We in Tennessee, boy.
No, they mean Carolina, though.
Carolina can't do nothing.
It's barbecue.
Not in Carolina.
You want some curry flavored barbecue?
I don't.
They put some mustard on.
Don't he have a little brother?
They put some mustard on.
What's his name?
I got some curry on my pizza.
Let's see.
Well, that's just gross.
I put some curry on my pizza.
There's Steph, and I believe he got a sister named Ida Bell. And it's another one.
Now, I put some curry on Ida Bell's toes. Ida Bell got.
Wait a minute, boy. Wait a minute.
That was in James Harden's pot.
Ida Bell got
sucking toes.
That the boy.
Kadzookian.
The company is based in Memphis, but it is international.
A new building, an expanded team, new equipment, a new studio, all inside of 7 years.
The resources that we were able to utilize with Kadzookian and their team has been incredible. And our partners at Kadzookian has been a large part of our success.
One, it's Black owned, so we get to tell our own stories in our own way.
With social media and the technology we have today, the world is listening.
Kadzookian. Check out all your Kadzookian favorites now. Download the Kadzookian app, available on Android and iOS.
R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. So much to talk about.
So much.
Let's take the latest first. And the last
Wait a minute, hold on. Don't. We're gonna talk about Ja Morant. Don't talk about him first. Let's talk about surprise teams of the NBA.
Okay.
I mean, I am very surprised with where Orlando Magic is doing.
Right.
I'm very surprised with what the Clippers are doing.
Right.
The Clippers are balling out, and it all started.
Don't stop there. Don't stop there.
Okay, who else you got?
The Thunder.
The Thunder is looking lovely, boy. Shea Gilgeous and
the previously rickety Rockets.
But see, hold on. They got a spirit animal now. And his name is Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks.
I watched him against Memphis.
Yes. Listen, Dylan Brooks, we may hate him for a lot of things, but he gives a team swag, man.
Oh, yeah.
He gives a team a level of swag that is just uncanny, and he has a team believing in himself.
And he will extend, if not come close to killing himself.
Yes. But the thing is, I think the death of the Grizzlies and why they've had such a hard time is because not only did they lose their spirit animal, they lost their leader. So when you lose Ja and Dylan Brooks, and you leave it to Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson, those guys are just not that same kind of athletes and same kind of personalities.
True.
You know, like Ja the other night hitting the last, in the first game back.
Hold on. Did you see the story of what happened in the huddle?
No. What happened in the huddle?
In the huddle, they were drawing up the final play.
Uh-huh.
All right. And the play was supposed to go, the ball was supposed to go to Bane.
Really?
Yes. Go to Jaren. Go to Jaren.
Okay.
Go to Jaren.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who it was.
It was going to Jaren.
Yeah. It's supposed to go to Jaren. But Desmond Bane said, F that.
Really?
Go the ball. Yeah. Ja gets the ball.
Really?
He overruled the coach.
Desmond Bane did?
Yes, he did. It was supposed to go to Jaren. That's correct. And said, nah.
So it reminds me of LeBron with David Blatt in Chicago back a few years ago when David Blatt had drawn up a play.
Right.
And it was, I can't remember if it was supposed to go to Kyrie or Love. And LeBron was like, nah, man, bump that. He said, nah, here's what we're going to do. Yeah. I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm going to the corner.
Right.
You're going to give me the ball in the corner. Right. I'm going to hit the shot. We're going to win the game.
Right, and that's what happened.
Yeah. I was like, wow. So they had a moment like that.
They had a moment like that, and it was the coach was overruled. Ja got the ball, and the rest is history. I am loving that. And I agree with you. I am happy to see that there's some equity in the NBA and teams like the Thunder and the Rockets and Orlando. Oh man, Orlando. When was the last time anybody paid serious attention at all to the Orlando Magic?
Orlando has 2 number 1 picks though.
Yeah.
You got Fultz in playing point guard.
Yeah.
Then you got Banchero.
Yeah, but
Paolo.
You can pick them.
I mean, but
you can pick them,
but
you
got some good ball
you got to
players.
place them. Right.
Yeah, they good ball players.
So and they got
you got Cole Anthony too. Cole Anthony's a tremendous leader. So Orlando's great. I love OKC. I love man. Sam Presti is got to be one of the best general managers, if not the best general manager, because he's consistently had OKC in the hunt. I mean, there was a couple little fall off, but think about it. He's in Oklahoma City. That ain't a destination city.
Right.
So you either got to do by trades,
right?
You got to do some, you got to get the draft right, and then they got a
lot of work to do.
See, hold on. But OKC, what people ain't realizing, OKC has an arsenal of picks coming up. Okay. They have so many picks coming up. I'm gonna predict it right here that OKC is going to win the championship within the next 4 years. I'll cut it down to 3. I think OKC is just that good. And they have the picks to pull in another big time player.
Okay. Well,
you got all-star
revisited.
You got all-star.
What you just said will be prediction.
I want you to.
Absolutely.
I want you to because it's and plus it's got a solid stability of their leadership.
Now, Larry,
that's what we make predictions.
We'll be back.
That's why y'all pay me the big bucks. That's why y'all. It's my prognostication.
To come out of deep left field.
It's my prognostication capabilities that allow me to garner the level of resources that I am able to garner from the environment.
Let me tell you what I'm saying. Yeah, right. Let me tell you what I'm seeing. Okay. I am seeing
parity.
I'm seeing parity, yes, but on a player level, I am seeing a combination of heart and character by some players.
Okay.
And no character by others. One in particular.
No character?
No character.
No character?
No character, no character. He is a character, but he has no character.
Who?
Who you think?
No character.
How about Draymond Green?
You don't think Draymond Green has character?
No.
Oh, I think he has a tremendous amount of character.
No.
I think he has a tremendous amount of character.
I mean, not lately. I don't know where it went. It's like stupid stuff, man. Stupid stuff. Lack of self-control, and to me, it's a character flaw.
Well, I wouldn't say it's character flaw. It's something flawed. It's something flawed, and I think and I love the way that the league has said, okay, man, you got something else going on with you. Let's take a step back and let's figure out why we having these problems. I don't call that character. So I wouldn't call a mental health issue.
You think it's a mental health issue?
Yeah, I think he's got something going on. I think it's something. There's something going on off the court. Yeah, because I mean, you talk about Kevin Durant's comments. You talk about some of the other players' comments saying that this is not the Draymond that I know. I don't rate it as a character issue. I see him as a person who has some anger issues that I think maybe kind of gets out of control. And I think it's gotten more out of control out of these last years. Think about it for a second now. They just gave the brother a $100 million deal.
I know.
They gave him a 4-year, $100 million deal.
I know.
So therefore, it's not a issue around his character because they wouldn't have given him the money if he had proven to be a character risk. You're not gonna give.
How could that be? You're not gonna give. Could that be assessed other than what you had done to that point?
Wait a minute. He had. So wait a minute. We don't know what. So if you look at what the situation was with Poole, and he punched him in the face, that you see that Poole obviously says a lot of things and does a lot of things that are not respected and well received, to the extent where they're talking about Poole being out of the league. Now, the situation with Nurkic, where he actually turned and hit Nurkic, or he tried to act like it was flailing. Once again, I think something's wrong. When you think about just a few months ago, him stepping in the middle of Sabonis's chest and so on and so forth. Once again, something
is wrong with his head.
Yeah, but this is all within the last. Say this has been in the last 2 years now. Think about before that. Before that, you had one kick with big boy Steven Adams, and then you had the situation with LeBron. But outside of that, you may have had a couple tussles, but you ain't really had the propensity and the amount of issues that he's had in these last couple years.
I am sick of folk putting everything on mental. I mean, that to me, that's crying wolf, putting everything on a mental health issue. There are some cases where it's not a mental health issue. It's just it's an issue.
Well, now
it's something else. It's something else going on, and it just
and that's what I'm saying.
It could be. I mean, hell.
So you saying he's losing character? Because I mean, this is the same guy that
not demonstrate. He
won defensive player of the year a few years ago. He's got multiple championships. Got 4 championships where he was an integral part of that.
And he's choking people, and he's flailing around.
But this is in the last 2 years.
But
go back to the fact that this is in the last 2 years. If it's a character issue, he would have been exhibiting these character flaws
all the time. Not necessarily.
Listen.
They have to start somewhere. So you don't do it.
So you're just gonna start 2 years for go.
I mean,
and then all of a sudden,
what you just say about the big contract.
This dude has been it wasn't his biggest contract.
Arrogance.
It wasn't his biggest contract. This is not his biggest contract. So once again, you don't go 10, 11 years in the league and then all of a sudden you got a character issue. That don't make sense.
Well, we got a time issue.
Yeah.
So we always here on R&R on Sports have the absolute
Were you talking
best
about the time like
people.
Halliburton did to Damian Lillard and them when they were pointing at his watch?
Pointing at his watch. We got a great interview coming up. You got to stick around and see who this is. We'll be right back after this.
Humans Being with Kirk Whalum.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, now I'm going to say my friend, Jonathan Capehart.
You came up and tapped me on my shoulder and you said, I'm a big fan. My name's Kirk Whalum. And I just about jumped out of my skin because I was like, wait, Kirk Whalum is saying hi to me? He's a fan of mine? Get out of here.
Humans Being with Kirk Whalum.
Welcome back.
I thought you wanted me to open up.
I said I would come back and you. But go ahead.
No,
you go.
No, you go. Since you want to go out and be new and stuff, go ahead. Open up the show, man. People waiting on you.
I just welcomed everybody back.
You welcomed them back?
Yes, to the interview segment of R&R on Sports.
What's it called?
And now Larry will tell you about our guest. How about that? Is that good?
Is an amazing guest. He actually has played in the great Laney High School. Someone else played at Laney High School by the name of MJ. Letters MJ. Secondly, the brother played at University of Tennessee.
Michael Jackson.
Did Michael Jackson play basketball? Oh, okay. All right then. Listen, without further ado, we have Kevin Whitted of Kevin Whitted Basketball Services. What's up with you, brother?
Welcome, Kevin.
How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm sorry you got to deal with all this foolishness, man. But
it's good.
But we got old people in here, man, and we trying to bring them along. We treat. We got this reclamation program we have over here.
You better hurry up. The bus is gonna pick you up in a minute. Van gonna be out there blowing.
Kevin, we like to start. Give us a little bit of the backstory, man. Where you from? What you do, and that type of thing. How you get to right here?
Wow.
Okay.
Well, long story.
Give us the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes. Okay. Well, born and raised Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. Proud son.
On the beach, right?
Yes.
Man.
Proud son of Luther and Dolores Whitted.
All right.
Two educators. They taught school for 30 years.
Okay.
Both of them, they retired. And
And it brought me along. I was a great, ball player. Parents were great athletes as well. Went to University of Tennessee after my high school career, as you just mentioned. I played with a great teammate, Allen Houston. And, played for Wade Houston. And after that, played professional basketball over in Europe. And after playing over in Europe, I discovered another talent that I had, really teaching the game, not coaching it.
Right.
And it's something that I kind of started doing it little by little. All of a sudden, I just kept finding myself doing it every summer until I retired. And then all of a sudden, I found myself in the teaching school for a couple of years, which gave me a great foundation to kind of figure out how to teach properly. So once I did that, I opened my Kevin Whitted Basketball Services, and it ballooned up from there. Between that, a lot of stops, coaching stops, summer league with the Grizzlies, Southwest, junior college, Fort Wayne Mad Ants, by way of Indiana Pacers, Brooklyn Nets, Springfield Armor, New York Knicks.
You was in New York, yeah. You was at
so that was my last
right?
stop. Yeah, so you talking about a lot of time. You talking about 10 to 12 years of experience, along with coaching in the PBL. I coached in my hometown in Wilmington with the Sea Dogs. So it's just been a great time for me to just grow as a player and coach.
Do you miss, because what do you like most? You like the coaching most, playing?
I love playing because you can control the narrative.
Right.
Coaching, you're at the mercy of the players. So that it's tougher. Only difference I love about coaching is it gives me a chance to implement all the concepts that I learned from all the great coaches that coached me.
Okay.
And I
Who
had
were some of those that stood out? What was one of the coaches that stood out?
Well, it started off when my high school coach was great. He gave me that great foundation in terms of just respecting the game. Playing for Wade was great as well. Wade was a great recruiter. He taught me how to be a people person, understand that your first impression is the best impression.
Right.
So you only have one time to impress anybody, the first time you meet them.
Right.
Kevin O'Neal hated him initially, ended up started loving him because of the details, how hard he worked me. Sometimes it was just too much, but it actually helped me because it
Kevin
made me
O'Neal
a better.
was at a UT as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
he coached me my last year at UT after Coach Houston left. And that was a great time for me because it gave me a chance to grow in a different way in terms of just, really introducing all the analytics. All those things started to come about that time. Lawrence Frank was there as an assistant coach. Wow. He lived basically in my apartment with me all the time. So so I learned a lot from those guys, and it kind of catapulted me into the coaching realm. So once I finished playing, it was easy to kind of make that transition. So it kind of started then.
You made a distinction between teaching basketball and coaching basketball.
Yes.
Talk about the difference in the nuance between that, because most of us don't understand that there is a difference between coaching it and teaching it.
Yes. Well, coaching is more managing. You're managing things that are already in place. So you have to kind of figure out a way to implement those ideas in something that's already established. And that's basically what happens when you're coaching. When you're teaching, you get a chance to really start from the beginning.
Right.
Everything begins from the foundation, and you're able to kind of bring them in like you're bringing in someone to Motown. When you come to Motown, who's the first person you see? Charlie Atkinson. They got to work on your footwork. Miss Mary's going to teach you how to dress.
Right.
And then you got to go on, I think the Holland Brothers, I think that's their name.
Suzanne DePass going to teach you how to talk.
Exactly.
How to interview.
Then they have their sounds. They got to find out how you sound.
Right.
Where your range. Are you upper, down, low, tenor?
Right.
The whole nine before you go see Barry. So basically, that's when I say teaching, because right there they're actually teaching you how to get to that process to build you up to a point, to bring you to a point where you can actually now go in front of someone and perform. So
how much easier or better is it, if at all, to teach it, given that you don't have the pressure of a looming game or games coming up? Yeah. Is that better? Does that make it better?
Well, it does to a certain degree, because you have a chance to have trial and error without anyone really critiquing to that degree.
Yeah.
Once you go up a level, you're being critiqued, even though you're teaching. But coaching is just another gamut now. It's a different game now.
Right.
Coaches they're not allowed to teach anymore. They're allowed to only manage what's going on above. Decisions are being made, especially in the NBA where I came from.
Right.
They've already made decisions about how they're going to go about working with a player what results they want. You need to meet the demand now of that. That's the hard part about coaching, where in the development side, where teaching is more important for me, I get a chance to really institute the things that I feel like they're going to help a player long term beyond the team that they're playing on. So that's the difference.
This is R&R on Sports, and we're listening to Brother Kevin Whitted of Kevin Whitted Basketball Services, former pro ball player, college ball player, and one of the greatest to come out of Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina. So, Kevin, when you think about coaching and you think about playing, what are those things that would you say has been your superpowers? So when you were a player, what was your superpower? Now that you're a coach, teacher, what's that superpower?
Well, as a player, I could play inside out. So I could adjust to any type of flow of game and style. When I came along, that's when the traditional bigs changed. I'm 6'9", so I was able to shoot the three. I was able to handle the basketball. So I was a 4 starting off initially, and then I turned into a 2.
Before your time, because now you would be like, you'd be a 3 and D right now.
Exactly. Where it started with, like I said, seeing Derek Coleman, Billy Owens, those guys right before me in '87, I came up right behind those guys.
Right.
All of us. So we were able to revolutionize the game from that standpoint. We saw, Derek Coleman, the Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, all of us were able to stretch the floor out. So that gave me a chance to really explore the game. So from that standpoint, playing the game, I saw a lot of things that impacted the game, and I was able to adjust to it immediately.
Right.
Coaching it, probably the sweet spot for me is in terms of I'm able to adjust to players. I'm a player's coach.
Okay.
So when the game is in play, I have a feel for what needs to go on. Okay. And when you play at a high level and you've seen so many things in so many different games, so many types of flow of games, I'm able to make reads quickly.
Okay.
I always tell players all the time, you can get me down to the 2-minute mark and keep the game close. I'll help us win because I know exactly what to do in terms of put us in a position to win.
What to do and when to do it.
Yes. Absolutely. Knowing when and why. And that's the important part.
How different are the players today versus the players when you were playing?
I think people ask me that question all the time.
Okay.
Players are still the same.
Okay.
It's what's happened are the expectations and that everything is moving at such an accelerated rate that they're not patient with the people that are actually directing them. Because now, because of analytics, because of these cameras that we have, everything is polarized so much more now, where before we used the eye test, now other things are in place. So now the human side is getting removed, which makes it harder. So now the players are adjusting to that. So they take advantage of that. Just like we would have taken advantage of it.
Right.
I mean, I remember my last coaching job when I saw Mike's, well, not Mike's, they put pieces in jerseys to actually track people's heart rates and all that. And then they decided basically how long you could practice, when you could practice. And I was like, wow, we just had a 3-game losing streak. You talking about you got to sit out?
Right.
So that's what makes it, that's the difference.
Okay.
Where back in the day, it was like, nah, coaches made decisions, everyone else stayed out of it, and we did what we needed to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, this is R&R on Sports. Listen, we're going to break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Kevin about his school, the players of today, and we're going to probably touch on Ja a little bit. So listen, stay right there. We'll be right back. R&R on Sports on the Kazuki Network.
R&R on Sports.
Pitcher, left-hander, Vita Blue. Welcome to R&R on Sports.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be on. Let's get it on, man. Let's talk to baseball.
That's right.
Talk to sports.
It's R&R on Sports.
R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. See how quickly that evaporates.
Man,
the countdown, and mic is hot, and then you freeze up.
I got respect for my elders. That's all it is. I just want to make you feel good about
Kevin
yourself.
Whitted is with us today, and I want to ask you about this. We talked about teaching versus coaching and all of that. So describe, give us the avatar, as they say, of the player that you are working with now, the players that you are working with now, on average, they are how old, where in school, and all of that?
Well, with our company, we're seeing all ages with Kevin with Basketball Service. So when we established our company, we wanted to make sure we hit all age groups and all skill sets. So we have a beginners program where we start with kids at the age of 8.
Okay.
Which gives us a chance to really introduce the game to them, all the fundamental skills, footwork, ball handling, shooting. Then we get in intermediate kids, which they're pretty much established all those things, and now it's about learning situations, how to play a position now.
Right.
What do you do well?
Right.
Same thing as we talked about going into a music studio.
Right.
So we need to find out what you do well and start amplifying those things daily to work. And then we also find out your weaknesses. So we start strengthening your strengths, strengthening your weaknesses even more. And then obviously we have advanced players that come in on the high school level that they're pretty much prepared at that point from a fundamental standpoint. Now it's just really about enhancing their skill set to kind of make them more available for college coaches to look at from a standpoint where it's time to now really take that look to see where you will fit in and all that. So we have that program as well. We also have our college prep program, which we have guys that are in college already that come in. We see them kind of year round, where I'm talking to them, giving them advice about what to do, what not to do, kind of helping them in that process, getting them ready for the pros. Then we have our pro players that are coming in where I'm talking to them yearly as well and year round. So I'm always instituting fundamentals from the beginning that we always focus on, but the main thing is we adjust it based on the player we're working with and how much we can give them, how much we need to not give them right now, because sometimes you can overexpose them to too much information too early, and then you're not losing the player, but now they're trying things they don't need to be trying, and it affects their overall development.
So set us straight. My compadre here and I accuse AAU of doing a couple of things with kids as it relates to their game. First of all, these are kids that have promise, can be good ball players and whatnot, but they start catering to them very, very early.
Yes.
Somebody's following them around, kissing their butt from a young age. And we say that the programs might not focus on fundamentals as much as they should or as they should, because everything is about winning. It's all about winning. Are we off, crazy, or correct?
We're actually 40% in on it, because I think, again, it goes back to there's nothing wrong with the players. There's nothing wrong with AAU. What's going on is that we have unqualified people in leadership positions trying to give structure. So that impacts the development of kids, because they don't have the education or the information. Now they're what we call YouTube sensation coaches that are community-based, and they get one degree or level of understanding, then they say, I got it. And that impacts so many kids. And it's impacted a lot of kids, particularly in our community. So, we need to really make a focus of getting guys in that actually have been there and done it, because we have nothing to lose or gain by helping them. And those are the people that need to be involved. And that's who was involved when we came along. When I think about Earl Jackson, that's passed on from my hometown, Meadowlark Lemon's cousin. I mean, he was instrumental in the early development stage for me. He didn't want anything from me. All he wanted to see me do is be successful. But he had the information and the education because of the background. Being around Meadowlark and just going on Michael Jordan, seeing Michael's progress, my high school coach, same thing. They weren't looking to ride my coattail. These are the coaches I played with. They were there to push me and say, no, you go on, son. I got mine.
Right.
Yeah, you need to go get yours. Those are people that need to be involved with these high-level players.
Do parents understand that as they should? Do they understand?
Hell no. Because parents are running out the stands, fighting coaches, fighting referees and everything. They couldn't understand a damn thing at this point.
And there's a lot of pressure now on the game now because of social media.
Man,
because
NIL,
it's so much pressure now on parents and players. It impacts everyone. And I think the more we educate parents about the process and they understand how to how to get their kid in the position to be around the right people, that'll kind of help offset a lot of the anxieties that they're having.
What kind of chaos, in terms of to Larry's point about NIL, what kind of chaos are we creating in the hearts and minds of these kids when they have so much latitude and they can make money and they can get in the transfer portal and they can do anything they feel like they want to do, just strictly in their interest? What do you say about that?
It's tough. I mean, we're just starting it I'm sure in the next 3 years we'll have a lot of information to kind of support, was it good or bad? When the next 2 or 3 years. Right now, from my naked eye seeing things, I don't like some of the things that's going on because I don't believe a kid should have benefits before, the work.
Absolutely.
So, all the great ones in the past, we earned it with our sweat and equity on the court.
Right.
And the package of what we presented to the public, and it was seasoned. So when a company got their hands on us, they had something seasoned and ready to go. Where now we have young players coming along now, that process hasn't happened. They're doing it based on potential. And when the potential comes in the door and they're excited about it, now everyone that's involved with you, that's walking with you, they're excited now. And they're uneducated. So now they're saying, go, do it. And it's like, no, he's not ready. So I think if we can get some big brothers involved, people that are involved, people like myself, that can actually help people in that process, say, no, not time yet. It's coming.
You know what hit me? What was the kid's name from San Diego? Mikey Williams.
Yeah.
When I heard that he had gotten picked up, they went and got him and for this murder trial that they were he was involved in, and they said they went to his parents' $1.2 million home that he had bought.
Okay.
That hit me like
what can you tell that kid?
That hit me like a ton of bricks. What are you gonna say to an 11th or 12th grade kid that his parents live in a house a $1.2 million house that he bought in high school? What? I mean, I don't know what we're doing, man. I mean, I can't see where much good can come out of what's going on because they have little controls. I mean, I'm not against kids making money and gaining revenue and whatnot, but you got to do any of that with controls. And there are no controls in terms of that. There are no controls in terms of the transfer portal and all of that. And I think we're creating chaos.
Well, yeah, I mean, with two stories that jump out right away when you say that makes me think about my own parents to a certain degree. My parents were retired teachers. I went on and did everything I could do to help them.
Right.
But the bottom line is my dad looked at me and said, look, son, we got ours. Our house is paid for.
Right.
Our second home is paid for.
Right.
You ain't got to do nothing but go be successful.
Yeah.
They took all the pressure off. I think about my college teammate. His dad had owned businesses.
Right.
They were accustomed to already being in a position to do things. So they understood what we call generational wealth.
Absolutely.
All right. Also,
Absolutely.
I think about Bill Russell. I heard him tell this story one time about his dad. I remember he wanted to retire his dad. And his dad said, no, son, you go do what you got to do. Because he was the first, I think, 100,000. I think Chamberlain got 100,000. And he said, no, I need $100,001.
Well, yeah, I got
that. Then he called his dad and said, Dad, you retire. And his dad said, no, I'm not. He said, I already put in 30 years. They're going to give me some more money. You going to get yours. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that when I see those situations, there's nothing wrong with going and, I think parents lose their power in the process because they allow their children to get in a position to now carry them.
Absolutely.
Now, I believe in helping your parents. You're supposed to reward your parents because they did all those things to get you where you need to be. But at the same time, you need to make sure that as a parent that you stay in a position where you can still stay in control of your affairs.
Right.
And I think that situation there you're talking about is kind of a demonstration of a little bit of that because kids are going to be kids. They're going to make decisions.
Right.
They're going to get into stuff.
Right.
But we need to be in a position where we can tell our kids, no, we're not in that. You need to straighten that out. And that's just a parenting thing. So that's the world we in today, and those are
mamas are leaning on that shield real hard because they going, well, baby, you know you the man of the house.
Yeah.
And
Well, like I said, historically, those things, that's how the household came about. The youngest son or that son in the house, if the father wasn't there, became the man of the house.
Right.
So he assumed all those responsibilities.
Right.
But you need a mentor.
Right.
Mentors need to be around to kind of usher that young man into that so he can understand how to make decisions that are, best for the family. Go ahead.
This is R&R on Sports, and we're speaking with Kevin Whitted of Kevin Whitted Basketball Services. You doing something. You mentioned kids. We got an issue with our kids. We got a lot of things happening in the hoods and communities that, especially with black boys.
Mm-hmm.
You got something that's coming up. What you got going on?
Well, we're hosting the Young Three Clinic. It's in conjunction with the Big Three, and that's coming here this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I got involved with it 3 years ago with JYD, Junkyard Dog. He brought me in as a consultant to help him with it. So I traveled all over the country with him for 2 or 3 years doing it. And when COVID happened, we lost the opportunity to have it here. So they're bringing it back now. And when they brought it back, my company grew excessively, and we partnered with the Big Three and the Young Three, and we made a decision now to say, hey, let's do a clinic, and I'll host it in terms of bringing our staff, our professional staff, along with the Young Three staff. And what we can do is, teach all the fundamentals, all the things that we were just talking about, how to make life decisions, teach them about financial literacy, the whole nine, and bring them in a setting where we can teach them all these things in a 4-hour radius, and then the afternoon. When the afternoon comes around, we can let them go play in the 3-on-3 setting, which we feel like is more controlled, and we can also give them a chance to really play the game the right way.
Right.
But teach them all the fundamentals early on. So that's what's going on this weekend. I think it's going to be a phenomenal event for us. I'm looking forward to the city coming out. We got some great sponsors involved. I think the Reeves, they came in and got involved. Reeves, our law firm. We have some T-shirt companies. We have a lot of people involved.
Right.
So many people are coming out that have helped us out, and we appreciate everyone. It's going to be a good event.
That's great.
I'm really, really excited about the work you're doing, and the life skill piece is the part that I'm really interested in. Glad you guys are adding that in. Where can people find you, and if they wanted to become pupils of the Kevin Whitted Basketball Service?
Well, we're easy to find. You can always go on our website, kevinwhittedbasketball.com. You can go to Kevin Whitted Basketball on Instagram.
Spell it for them so they get the Whitted.
Yeah, K-Dub. So it's Kevin Whitted, WHITTED, basketball.com. You can also go on Instagram and Facebook as well. So you can always find us. You can reach us by phone as well, 888-780-2216.
All right.
You can get with it, or you can get without it.
That's right. You got to get with it.
You ain't got no future in this business, man. We appreciate you being with us, man, here on R&R on Sports, and we're gonna have you back. We got
just talk some hoop, man.
We got a lot.
We can talk a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff happening, and I think too many people are forgetting about the fundamentals.
Hold on, before we go, where Dame Lillard gonna end up?
It's a good question. I know he wants to go to Miami.
Right.
He needs to open the door for, I think Philly would be great with him and Joel Embiid. I think that would be a good look for him. Those are really the two teams. I say in the East. He's not going West. They're not going to let him out. They're not letting him go West.
Right.
That's not happening.
That ain't happening.
But I think the Heat and Philly, those are the two teams he needs to really focus on. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston made a blockbuster move. Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out, because because they have some pieces still they can offer.
They got plenty of
and
too.
They're ready to win now.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out how to get back to the finals and be able to get over the top.
I find it interesting they ain't gave Brown his contract yet.
There you go.
Y'all talk off mic. Back for more R&R on Sports right after this. Hey, this is Howard Robertson with R&R on Sports.
And I'm the most amazing Larry Robinson.
For the best entertainment you can imagine, download the Kazukian app and get R&R on Sports.
Download it from the Google Play Store or the App Store. Android, Google Play, iOS, App Store. Get it.
Kazukian! Back again.
Now it's time to say goodbye
to all our family.
M-I-C.
Mick.
For all y'all people who don't know that old tune from the Mickey Mouse Club, well, what you got, man, before we get on out the door?
I have my little shout out goes to, is a Memphis-oriented shout out.
You're such a damn homer. You are such a homer, man.
When homers,
listen, no.
do something,
I'm shouting out somebody somewhere
Penny
else.
Hardaway,
Miles Jack, 28-year-old linebacker, retired.
Ja Morant. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
You are such a homer.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Such a homer.
Okay,
this is a national show.
Be
your
out
local
of,
ass.
out of
just
home.
local ass. You just a local ass brother.
Proud local ass brother.
Listen, Miles Jack, the brother, 28-year-old, he said the heck with being on the field. I'm going to retire from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm going to go buy me a hockey team.
With my mama.
LaSonia Jack.
That's right.
LaSonia Jack and Miles Jack. So Jack this, brother. He's got his own team.
What's the name of the team?
The team is called I don't know what
Allen Americans.
Allen Americans
of the ECHL. It's the first black majority. They are the first black majority owners in the league, and the ECHL is a minor league division of the NHL.
Okay, you did your research.
Hey,
look at you. So you chose to be a homer.
Yeah,
you chose to be a local.
Absolutely,
a local yokel.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, and you know what? I'm really, 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 really sad that you're from somewhere that you can't be proud of being from. That's very sad, man. Talk about issues. I mean,
leave me in my Louisville.
We're gonna get you some counseling.
That's what I need some counseling. Hey man, listen, we're gonna send up. I'm gonna send up tall timber for Kenny Payne. For Kenny Payne back there in Louisville, man, because it ain't looking so good. Ooh. Kenny, KP. Yeah. Man, if you get another year, it's gonna be manna from heaven. But
they'd have trouble beating LeBron.
Yeah.
So he says I'm a homer. I am a homer. LeBron is the Children's Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, and they got a very, very good basketball team that should play Louisville.
Listen, man, don't talk about my home team. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Get off me. Get out. I'm out. I quit this show.
We appreciate you being with us here on our own Sports Somehow with Robertson.
And I'm the great one, Larry Robertson.
Talk about us. Tune us in. Download the Kazukian app. All of that. We're on iHeart. We're on Stitcher. We're on all of that stuff. You can find us very, very easily. Please do. And keep checking us out. Don't go nowhere. Be good to yourselves and each other. I'm out. I don't know what this you got to say. From Louisville.
R&R is hosted by Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson. R&R is directed, produced, recorded, and distributed by Kazukian.